Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us for the latest Spotlight conversation detailing how Microsoft Teams is accelerating our digital transformation journey here at Microsoft. With me, I have Claire Sisson, a Principal Group Program Manager here in Microsoft Digital, who's responsible for our Microsoft Teams Customer Zero program, and Sara Bush, a Principal Program Manager and a member of her team. So we all recently worked together to publish a story on Microsoft Inside Track detailing how Teams has transformed Microsoft over the last 5 years, detailing where we've been with Teams, where we are right now, and where the platform is going. Claire, I'm hoping you can tell our audience today a little bit more about what it means to be Customer Zero at Microsoft for Teams.
Yeah, absolutely. So customer zero means that we right away out of the gate embrace our product and test at scale their new features and functionality. Why is that important? Well, Microsoft is present worldwide, all around the world, many countries, many disciplines, many different cases that we have and that we can work the new features and functionality with. So as we collaborate with the PG, we're able to accelerate those learning cycles because as we are working at scale with those features and functionality, we can out of the gate provide the feedback from our employees all around the world and in all those scenarios that they encounter. And as we do that, that acceleration of learning cycle enables us to improve our product and make sure that they are the best experience possible, both for ourselves at Microsoft and all of our customers out there.
That's great. Customer centricity is such an important part of what we do here in Microsoft Digital. Sara, as we write about in the article, Teams is much more than just a platform for video-based chat, even though that's how some of our customers probably think about it. We describe it as our digital fabric that keeps us connected and collaborative across all of our employee experiences. I'm curious to hear from you. How does Teams help you to collaborate more effectively in your role?
Absolutely. It is so much more than just calling or chat. And I center my entire workday in Teams. I use everything from the pinning capabilities to the Teams channels and meetings within Teams throughout my workday. And I'm able to actually go in and work with people real time through things like Word Live, Excel Live, right from within the Teams app. So it is this one-stop shop where I can actually move through all the things that I need to within my workday. And, I have things beyond co-editing. I even have a virtual commute at the end of the day from Viva Insights that I love. So really, I pull in all the content I need. There are many functions where we can set notifications and the way we like to really tailor it to the way we like to engage. And I have all those set for my everyday workday.
I've definitely decided that virtual commutes are better than real commutes, but it is fun to see some of those neat features that we've been able to add through Microsoft Viva. Claire, obviously companies have a lot of choices when it comes to choosing a platform for collaboration and connection. In your opinion and in your experience, why should they choose Microsoft Teams?
Yeah, so many reasons. One of the first I would say is when you leverage Teams, you're leveraging the full power of Microsoft. So you're enabled to really leverage all of the breadth and depth of all of our features, functionality, and the native way that you can collaborate with content, with boundaryless collaboration out of the gate with the rest of the suite. So what do I mean by that? I mean, you can leverage all of our documents that way. You can leverage our apps that way. You can really take all the breadth and depth of Microsoft Suite and light it up into a way that you can collaborate async and off-sync. So that is the number one that I would call out. The second one is the scale. I mean, you can have an interaction one-on-one and collaborate with somebody one-on-one. And then you can do the same thing with 100 people. We enable people to go from that 0 to hundreds at a speed that is quite remarkable. Finally, trust. When you leverage a Microsoft product, you know that you can trust the product. We are using the same security protocol as Office 365 application. We rely on the same zero trust technology, and that includes also Azure Active Directory. Those would be the first three that I would mention.
Awesome, thank you. Hey, Sara, one thing that you've blogged about and you've become a bit of a known expert here at Microsoft is about cultural norms for effective and inclusive hybrid meetings. What insights could you share with the audience on facilitating inclusive and effective meetings with teams?
Absolutely. This has been a really interesting journey. We have a lot of research that has gone into what it means to have successful meetings. And with our partners, we've discovered that meetings are 3 times more likely to be successful if attendees feel included. That may seem like a no-brainer, but what does it mean to feel included? And we've spent a lot of time and effort creating both features and guidance in how to have inclusive meetings. Things like raise hand, async features like recording, or even more recently through the team's premium offering, meeting recap, so that you can bring everybody into the fold whenever they join from wherever they are. What we found too, now that we've moved into really a permanent hybrid state, is that there are different cultural things that we can do and use to have a great experience. And we've proven over this last year that these things really do work with our own internal meeting NSAT, which has been very high, not only online, but also in person. And our hybrid guidance includes things like using your video when you're in the room so that you have more of a presence, and the chat and the engagement online is also more prevalent in the room. Maybe having somebody be the point person to make sure the chat is being looked at. And then some in-room things that you wouldn't necessarily think about, like actually using chat instead of leaning over and talking to somebody within the room, and everybody using the raise hand feature. It sounds simple, but once we started adopting these things, we saw that NSAT and that inclusivity increase. So highly recommend some of those simple tactics.
Awesome. Great, great tips. And a great segue too, Claire, we recently made some exciting announcements related to our new Teams Premium product. What are some of your favorite Teams Premium features?
Well, one of my favorite one is watermarks. So it's the ability when you are in a call and you share that call with a lot of people outside, and you want to make sure that the documents and the conversation that you have are remaining confidential. It's an opportunity to have that confidentiality kept. It watermarks the screen if anyone were to be taking a screenshot. And for instance, that's one of those new features that have been super powerful.
Terrific. Hey, Sarah, in the article, we discussed 3 phases that we've experienced with Teams here at Microsoft. As we look to the future, what are some of the scenarios you're most excited about that are on the horizon for Teams?
Thanks, Keith. It's funny. I think back because I've been on this journey for a few years now, and in so many ways, I feel like we've just begun. We have it's a new paradigm. We have these AI features coming. We have an AI feature where it's live translated captions. So I may be speaking in English, and you can choose your translated language. I mean, the level of inclusivity on these things is incredible, and the AI coming, as I mentioned, with meeting recap. But I would be remiss to say, or not say, that I'm really excited to see Mesh come online with avatars and immersive meetings. We all know that, again, we're not going back to the way we worked before the pandemic. Hybrid is here to stay. How do we find a way to engage and feel more in one another's presence beyond voice and video, and do that from remote locations? And I really think as we move into Mesh and the Mesh offerings in Teams, we're going to find a whole new way to engage.
Yeah, that's awesome. I do think that the vision for Mesh with the metaverse is really pretty neat. Very excited to see that technology come to life. Okay, one last question for each of you. Claire and Sara, what's one underappreciated feature in Teams that you wish that everybody knew about because it would make them more productive? Let's go ahead and start with Claire.
Oh, one. I'm going to go for two. There are too many. I would say apps. Leverage apps in Teams. So, for instance, in our team meetings, we leverage polls, and that has enabled a lot of feedback that we can get from the team live while we are doing our team meetings. So, polls is a great example of an app that you can leverage really quickly as you're having a meeting, and it enables more productivity. But in general, go look at those apps that we've got. It's really an accelerator. The second one I would say is Loop. So Loop components directly in the chat, where you can start to text enter your text, and as you enter it afterwards, and you have that same text into an email, whomever is going to update the text is going to resurface in both areas. So you can really enable async and off-sync collaboration for people who couldn't join the chat or couldn't join the meeting. They can go back into the email and vice versa. It's an accelerator for collaboration when you leverage Loop into Teams.
Awesome. Yeah, Loop is definitely a game changer. It's just starting to take root, and I really enjoy it. Sara, what about you?
I'll take a pivot on, those are so great. I'll take a pivot on a couple of personal productivity ones. The first one would be the activity feed. If you go into your own activity feed, you can see that there is a search bar there. But I think it's a little known fact that you can put the topic in the search bar and then hit the ellipsis and choose a filter by that topic, like an at mention or when you replied to, so you can more quickly find what you're looking for in your feed. And the second really helpful one for my personal productivity is the saved feature. In any chat or channel, you can hit the ellipsis, choose to save it, and then when you go back to your profile picture, you'll see the saved category, and you can jump to these things pretty quickly.
That's terrific. Great tips, both of you. Claire, Sara, it was so much fun getting to work on the article with both of you. Thank you so much for that, and also thank you for joining me today to share your expertise.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you, Keith.